You in this battle, man, I'll soon be dead. I'll glue your face to my dick so I can fuck with your head. I got metaphors coming through my pores. You probably never been in a battle before, so I hope you realize your mistake. There ain't no party, got some candles, this won't be a piece of cake.
Oh, we're rolling. There was a study done about like cell phone use and its effect on conversation. And they had a lot of experiments. One was they had two people talk to each other with a table in between them with someone else's fake cell phone between them.
Okay.
And I don't know how they measure the quality of conversation, but that versus the control group, their conversations were like less involved. Like the people were less likely to pay attention to each other because there's like an internet device between them. Like subconsciously, you're like, I'm talking to this boring fuck when there's the internet right there. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, dude. I'll be talking to someone and they'll pull out their phone and they'll have no like pretense of like, oh, sorry, I need to check this.
Yeah, they'll just do it.
And they'll not only are they not checking something, they're just scrolling.
Oh shit, no.
Dude, I had this conversation with a friend. I'm like mid conversation. They start scrolling through whatever social media app they're using. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I'll tell you the story later. And he like without looking, he's like, oh no, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't want to participate in this. That's wild behavior. Dude, and listen, I'm as addicted to my phone as anybody else is. I'm a grayscale daddy. I'm trying to get my screen time down that way. But listen, I know it's bad, and I'm trying to do what I can.
I wish I could think of the name for what it's called when you do that. I'm a grayscale, like that kind of joke that you do. Like,
okay.
I'm a something daddy. I'm a Sammy Sweet. Like what when you do that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
I would like to have a name for it so I can identify exactly what I hate. I want to give a name to it so I can tackle it as a problem.
Guys, welcome to the 4 Hours Podcast, internet radio phenomenon.
Fuck, we didn't do that already. We didn't do it, so why do we need to do it?
It's the morning cereal hour.
Cereal.
It's the cereal breakfast.
Good time cereal hour.
It's the Breakfast Club with Bobby Sheehan and Ilya Laxon. Oh, we're gonna get dinged for that one, dude. And listen, I'm having a nice time.
When you do that, like your Jim Gaffigan thing, like talk aside thing. We need to give that a name so we can somehow just cut it out.
That's okay. This is a new bit you're doing where you identify a type of humor I do, say you want to give it a name, and now I understand that means you hate it.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to go on record as saying, because I'm going to get his feelings hurt, daddy. I'm
going to cut myself later, Dad. I'm a suicide Sammy.
I'm put a gun in his mouth and jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and pull the trigger as he's falling down to really make sure that he's dead, daddy.
That's a lot.
I haven't thought about that at all, folks. If that's that, I'm just riffing. I'm just so good at riffing.
I
don't know if anyone's ever done that, but I would do that if I was good. Guys, don't kill yourself unless you really want to. But
I guess I was gonna say, why not just shoot yourself to fall back? But I guess if you want the thrill of falling,
I think it's. I think the likelihood of both of those things not working is very low.
Okay.
Dude, I just simply would not want to like shoot my jaw off.
Yeah.
And then be like, well, I was depressed now.
I think we talked about this like on the podcast.
Dude.
I think we've not spaced out how long ago we talked about suicide later.
I think comedians, as you are one, dare I say, and I am as well, I think that we talk about,
yeah.
I mean, we're modern day philosophers. We talk about suicide so much.
Yeah.
You ever go to a show and then there's a guy or a girl, but actually this type of person is more often a guy, where they do a lot of open mics. Yeah. They don't do a lot of shows.
Yeah.
They network their way onto a show.
Yeah.
And they're doing like the darkest material without even couching it in something pleasant. Yeah. And they're talking about like, I want to kill myself. And then there's this nice couple that's on a date.
Aww. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, self-deprecating humor of which I like to participate in.
Yeah.
I fucking hate awes.
Yeah.
I've yelled at people. I've been like, don't awe me.
It ruins because I have like a chunk about like having OCD.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, which is like, if I was being earnest about it, it'd be a thing. But like in the context of comedy, it's like, you get where I'm going with this. I'm just like a lighthearted premise, maybe. I don't need, and like, it's like, it's not the most extreme thing that you need to go awe about.
Well, but actually, I think mental illness kind of related to suicide right? I'm using that ironically. I'm not afraid of the algorithm. I'm just not. But
Yeah, that thing, whatever that.
most people don't say to strangers that they have a mental illness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even you being like, even though you're not having this like Hannah Gatsby moment of like,
Yeah, you're not being self. What was it? That was the thing. Is like I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna self-deprecate myself or something like that. Like she's not gonna.
I remember the quote almost verbatim, and the reason I remember it is because it annoyed me.
Yeah.
Even though I ran into her in person on the streets of Scotland, and she was very nice. But she said, "When you live on the margins, self-deprecation isn't humility; it's humiliation." Which to me is like, you can feel that way, but it's sort of a lot to speak for everyone that lives on the margins.
Yeah. That's
you
true.
know?
And also it's for the most part false as a claim. Like for the most part, that is where those jokes, dark humor originates. That's kind of the point.
And isn't it cathartic when you're like, I have OCD, here are jokes about it, and people are laughing. You're like, okay, maybe it's not this insurmountable thing if I could make people laugh about it.
No, I don't think about it that way.
How do you think about it?
I don't really.
So your thing is, I have OCD, and therefore, of course, I have jokes about him, and there's not a bigger
Yeah,
purpose.
I don't. No, I remember I was doing a show in LA last year, and I was doing my OCD chunk, and it's like they're just. I think they're good jokes, fun jokes, whatever. And the guy, some comic I don't remember, we were at backstage. He was like, "I like how vulnerable you are up there."
Right.
Like that is not a way you would describe my act.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not Mark Maron, or like I'm not being. I talked about a thing that's true,
Yeah.
but I just see it only in terms of jokes. Like I don't care what the topic is. It's just those are the jokes that I can.
Yeah, it's not this like, okay, we're 40 minutes into the one-man show, dim the lights.
Yeah.
I'm going to, Kevin Brennan, not Kevin Brennan, who's the other one? Neil Brennan. Yeah, Kevin Brennan's not like that at all.
No. I like how vulnerable and insane and angry you are. Can we get this to come back to him and get some
it's
going?
not impossible.
It seems incredibly reasonable.
Yeah.
It seems like not an unattainable goal.
But I think but back to my point earlier, like the fact that you would say in a crowded room of mostly strangers, like, here is the thing, maybe you don't feel this way, but most people I think who have OCD were like, I am probably not going to tell everybody I meet about this.
Okay.
And you don't feel that way. And it might be because you don't feel that way in general, or you're like, fuck it, I have jokes about this.
Actually, that's probably a fair point, because I think there was probably for a very long time that I wouldn't have known to say that I have it or what it is. But yeah, so I get that point. I guess I don't think introspectively. So I'm just, I don't.
Well, you talked about this, I forget if it was the last episode, but maybe it was a couple episodes back, where you were talking with your psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, how do you feel? They want to know if your medication is working. And you're like, I don't know. How is one supposed to feel?
Yeah. Basically, every week it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's supposed to be different. I feel the same.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had footage, like if you could transport me back in time to like 2 years ago, if I could be like, oh, I feel totally different now. I just, because it's like what, it's like a frog in like a pot of cold water. It's like, I don't feel it boiling. I have no idea if things are getting better or worse. To me, it's all just like a circumstantial. Like if there's some other stressor thing in life, and then I feel, then it's weird, and if there's not, then I'm okay. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's sort of like, my thing is, I'll have a stressor, and then it's hard for me to enjoy like the nice things. I have to actively remind myself. Like, I'm out to dinner with friends. I'm like, my job doesn't matter right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I wish I had friends to have dinner with.
Really?
Yeah.
Last time we recorded, you very nicely invited me to Third Wheel with you and your wife. Dinner. Yeah. And
afterwards.
Yeah.
You're gonna build up an appetite. Trust me, you're going to eat.
The idea that you'd be like, we're looking for a third. First, we want to fuck. Make sure the vibe is good, and then go out to dinner.
You wouldn't happen to be a foodie, would you?
Listen, we've established that you're a little sissy cum slut. Now, how do you feel about shared apps?
Like you may have had your fill of cum, but have you ever had oysters?
Imagine a guy who's like, I will have any stranger's fluids in my body, but I do not like when people double dip the chips.
Yeah, you gotta have standards. I can get that. Though.
Yeah.
I don't like spitting. I think we talked about this before, but I think spitting as like a sex thing.
Oh no, not as a sex thing. Actually,
in
not
what context do you like?
Yeah, there's no one alive that's like, I hate spitting during sex, but outside of sex, I think
Outside,
it's
just on the
great.
street, the sidewalk. Hell yeah,
Dude, I hate that when you walk down New York City. Not only do you have to,
Oh my God, yeah.
you have to look out for dog poop. You also have to look out for like the fucking maniacs that are just like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to spit. It's like, why are you spitting?
Yeah,
Who
it's
spits?
such antisocial.
Yeah.
or at least against social
You're
contract.
you're
behavior.
being a dirtbag.
Yeah.
That's just like what a dirtbag does.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And I've also, outside of brushing my teeth or vomiting, I've never even felt the need to spit.
Yeah, that's true. I gulp if I need to, if my mouth is. Yeah, this is a normal reaction.
Guys, do you spit? Let us know in the comments. This has been the Before Hours podcast, and we got so much more time. But what if like a rapper, like they constantly say their name? If
Yeah.
I just like, I'm doing a riff, I'm like, Ilya's Jewish, and I think that's great. This is the Before Hours
Yeah.
podcast.
Every like a radio station. It's like every time you come back, you're listening to 101 FM. Like yeah.
We should do ad reads on the podcast, even though no one will sponsor us.
I always wanted to get I always thought it'd be funny to get an actual sponsorship from a cigarette company
oh,
because I always thought like they probably have money. And I know people will be mad, but like I wouldn't lie because I don't smoke. I
Right.
wouldn't be like these are what I smoke. I'd be like, people like this. You should if you're gonna smoke these. But I don't smoke them.
See, the thing is, I don't think anybody would be convinced to start smoking for an ad, but people might switch brands, do it in an ad.
and
So who are we
and I have
hurting?
no problem with that.
Yeah.
I have no problem taking money from.
I have no
Winston-Salem
problems
or,
espousing gremlin propaganda. We're in the
I thought-
podcast world, Ilya.
I thought you said gremlin.
I might have. I'm kind of
I
stupid.
think you said gremlin. And it's like, oh, he must have meant Kremlin. But I definitely heard. Can we play back? I think I swear. I think you said gremlin.
Don't play that back. I can't. I would be too embarrassed.
There's got to be a way you could check. Can you? You don't have to play it back. But you can just confirm for us if he said gremlin or Kremlin.
Maxim, go back to your Duolingo. You don't have to.
It'd
do
be funny
this.
if you, for like the last 6 years, you thought it was gremlin and you didn't realize it had anything to do with Russia until right now.
Mhm.
I guess it's more of a funny idea than the thing to explore.
It's a terrible idea, Ilya, and I'm kind of a take jokes seriously, daddy. I'm gonna get furious in the middle of conversation, daddy. You ever meet somebody that kind of does have a thin skin, and you're like, "Fuck, how do I navigate this?"
I'm trying to think. I don't know if you have
Because I think that there's nothing you could say to me in jest that I would take personally.
Yeah.
Like if it's all about intent to me. Like if your
Yeah.
intent was to hurt my feelings, then I'll be like hurt that you want to hurt my feelings. But if it's just a joke, it's just a joke.
I had a colleague who was from Armenia, and like I don't know, I was probably just making jokes, and he was like, he got furious. He was like, "No, you don't always do that. Don't say stuff." It was something like that. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Were you like, hey, isn't it?
I was
kind
probably
of
being extraordinarily xenophobic. There's probably a good chance I was doing that.
dude? I mean, thin skin. I mean, dude, to get taken out by the Ottoman Empire
Yeah.
with those silly hats,
Pussies,
dude.
am I right?
Yeah.
I don't really know the particulars about the Armenian genocide.
I know that it happened during World War I, and I also know no one cares about it. And also the Turks were like, what genocide?
Yeah.
And also, maybe we could haggle with the Turks. Like, we're coming in with 1 million Armenians killed. What if we let them to go like 20,000 and then
Yeah.
we kind of meet them in the middle?
Let's just say like a cool 650.
Yeah.
Nice.
My friend, I can
Yeah.
give you 30,000, you know?
Yeah. That's probably why Mideast peace talks never work, because
Mm-hmm.
haggle culture.
Yeah, dude. It's so cool that your plan worked.
And I'm so happy things are working out.
Yeah.
Actually, they're firing missiles into Tel Aviv today, so I don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
But
It's
I mean,
a scary situation, probably.
it is, but also it's like, if they could, if a country besides the United States, and obviously anything Israel does is like with the United States help, but because I was listening to the news on the way over here, they're talking about Israel.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we don't know what Israel's talking about. People are wondering if Israel is actually attempting regime change.
Okay.
Because a lot of the things they're doing would only make sense in the context of regime change. Because
Okay.
they've taken out like a lot of senior officials.
Okay.
Because they killed like the 2 major nuclear scientists.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why they did that. But why they're taking out like the brass.
Yeah.
Right. And I know Trump started that in his first term. But there's also people like wondering, because Trump's like, I didn't know anything about this, but people think that might not be true.
Yeah.
I know we're recording this on Friday the 13th. This is going to come out. That's what's fun about recording so far in advance is that half of this might be wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
There might not be a country
I know.
when this comes out.
But dude, you know what irks me is like people are always talking about like the disproportionality whenever Israel bombs anybody. And it's like, well, they built an Iron Dome.
Yeah.
They didn't use their like money for underground tunnels or like for like jihadist propaganda. They're like, let's keep like our nation safe.
Yeah.
So are they supposed to?
Yeah.
What, to be fair, they should like
A lot of it is bad optics.
Yeah.
Which, what are you going to do about it?
Well, and also it's like Qatar basically funding Middle Eastern studies departments in every major American university, which is legal somehow. I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
When I first heard that, I'm like, that's a conspiracy theory. And it's one of those things where you like, you go in incognito mode, you Google it and you're like, oh no, it's true.
You know, that in retrospect, it makes sense why my graduation was in a mosque. I never put two and two together because I wasn't doing Middle East studies at all. Just philosophy.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense.
And
That's a fun joke, right?
Did you? I think it was fun. Yeah.
That's where
I've never been to a mosque.
I've only been to like the most famous because I went to Istanbul a couple of years ago. So I've been to the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque and the,
Is that what you were saying to the Armenian guy about how much you love Istanbul?
No, that was long before I'd ever gone to Turkey. But I don't know. It's eminently reasonable that I might have said something about like, I'm glad the Turks did that. I wouldn't have said anything as unclever as that, but
Do you know, when I was in second grade, there was a little girl and she was from Turkey, right? And I didn't even know that that was a country. That's how I found out the country existed. And I thought it was very funny that it was named after an animal.
Yeah.
Right. And my parents were talking about it because it was like, we were a small town, mostly white and Hispanic Catholics, right? So it was basically like Irish, Italian, Hispanics, and Catholics, right?
Yeah.
And so everyone was like a little intrigued that there was a little girl from Turkey, right? And my parents were chatting about it. And my mom says to my dad, so I'm from it's like 3,000 people, 50 miles north of the city of New York City. And it's called Greenwood Lake. So my mom goes, how do you get from Turkey to Greenwood Lake? And I chimed in as a little boy and I said, the teacher said she took an airplane. Not a cute
That's
joke.
a good joke.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't joking, but it was a cute happenstance.
Well, yes, fair enough.
Yeah.
And your mom slapped you for it. It said no comebacks, no ice talk.
She fucking beat the shit out of me. Yeah. She actually branded
Oh my goodness.
my own name into my chest. So I would quote, never forget where I came from. What does that mean?
I don't know. I think she was confused about her intent.
I think
She's
so
trying to
too.
accomplish.
Yeah. And I remember as a little boy watching my second grade teacher, her name, we'll call her Mrs. Millhouse.
Okay.
So Mrs. Millhouse, it's actually very close to her actual name. I think she's dead. She was an old lady when I was in second grade, so she's almost certainly dead. But just in case she isn't, please don't dox her. But I remember her talking to the little Turkish girl.
Yeah.
And she's showing her that we had like this weird system where you ticked a box if you had a lunchbox or if you needed
the lunch.
And she's going, food. This is the teacher talking to the little Turkish girl. Food for you to eat. And even as a little boy, I'm like, I get that she doesn't speak English, but that's not how you handle this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did she not speak English?
Not at all, but like because she was a little kid,
Yeah,
she figured
just
out in
got
like
there.
a few weeks.
Yeah.
That was you, right? Didn't you come here not speaking English?
Probably, but I was also so young that like. I was
How old were you?
Like 2.5, like 3.
Oh yeah.
So it was
okay.
before I have any formed memories.
And now you don't speak any Russian at all.
Nope. Never,
Yeah.
Really. No, I never recall having ever been able to speak it.
Nice. The way you sounded, it made it sound like you were being accused of being a communist during the Red Scare. I don't even remember any words of Russian.
I've been to the airport like once and I got through it. It says my passport like born in Russia, and then I get like a quizzical look sometime. Not sometimes. It happened one time. The one TSA person is like, I don't know what think the Cold War is. Or that's. But yeah, people are from there sometimes.
It is interesting that if you are an immigrant and you come to America, a lot of the times you are escaping oppression.
Yeah.
Only to like experience racism in America, right? And it's a different level, right?
Yeah.
But I always think of like your parents came over because being Jewish and this, because you're Jewish, which I think is great, but your parents were from the Soviet Union, right?
Yes.
So, and then you have this experience where an American customs person is like, oh, this guy's fucking Russian.
Yeah.
It's like, to some extent, you're like, you're getting it from both sides.
Yeah.
You know?
The Jew part is interesting because, like you said, like the other week, like you're white. I've heard people say like Jews are like white on the coasts or something. Like
White on the what?
White on the coasts,
What is
like
that?
East Coast, West Coast.
Okay.
Like in like New York, LA, Jews are white people. They're more integrated, and in the middle of the country, it's however people think of Jews, but like not as like white people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. And also, I think talking about like escaping oppressions, Israel is really, outside of like New York City, is like really the only place where you could be like, okay, I'm definitely not gonna have a weird interaction with a non-Jewish person because I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
You know, which is like, probably the number one argument for Zionism, right?
Yeah, I guess to have a dedicated ethno state or something for your own people.
Which to me, like, okay, my American bias is to be against ethno states, right?
Yeah.
Or a state based on a religion, however you want to define what Israel is, right? But like in the aftermath of the Holocaust, I get being like, yeah, we're done living around these other people now.
Yeah.
Let's just have our own state, right? Would it have been nice if it was like somewhere that wasn't contested land?
Yeah.
But also, where is that? And also, it like if we just carved out Oregon, right? And we're like, this is not part of the United States anymore. It belongs to Jews. Would it really, or would we always kind of be like, but this is the United States? And then you're back. The thing I think some people don't realize about Germany, like in the 20s and 30s, is it was one of the most modern industrialized Western countries of the time. So it wasn't like, it was like, if it could happen there, it could happen in other places.
It wasn't
too.
like a primitive like culture or whatever. It would, and Jews were prominent in society. Like it was a very much a manufactured.
Plus, if you have living memory of the Holocaust, you probably have living memory of fucking in the 30s that Madison Square Garden sold out Nazi event, which looks fake, dude. The first time I saw a picture of that, I'm like, there's no way that could be real.
Yeah,
there was that many people,
and then Andrew Schultz a couple years later sells it out. Isn't that crazy? Nazi rally, then him.
Oh man,
they should have a picture of all the people who performed there, and then have the Nazi rally. It's like, you guys didn't take that one down. We're proud of the capacity.
They're like they view it as like how the New York Times Person of the Year views it. Like it's morally neutral.
We're not for it.
We're not for it, but he does sell tickets. I will say that much.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so fun because like it really is a hindsight 2020 thing, because you could read like Western leaders during Hitler's like rise to power, and some of them are like, he's quirky, but he's different. He's shaking things up, right? No parallels to present day. Don't you dare think there are, right? But yikes, we got all political.
We did get all political. Should we compensate I don't know how we compensate.
Yeah.
Get off the politics train.
I've gotten more political as like more shit has happened, because I feel like more and more people are political in a way where I just, and this is going to sound condescending because it's true, I know they're confused. I know they don't have all the information. Yeah. So like for a while I've been like, I don't want to rock the boat, and I'm like, fuck it, the boat's sinking.
I think that's what at the heart of most, I just broadly call it grifts, but like whatever people, the podcasts, whatever personalities, it's the grift is they're always selling you on how confident they are about the answer. That's why Fox News always took off. Is like, because they're saying wrong things, but all they're constantly telling, or Alex Jones, he's like, see, I said this, or I said that. They're like, it's so important to them to say, oh, this proves me right before, like to give them, lend them their own self authority that they're right before. And it's all about confidence. Like confidence is so important to people. Like it really does matter. Like people are attracted to, or you put your faith in someone being super confident. And it's just like, if someone can be confident, it doesn't really matter what to say. It just works. You can carve out a career that way.
I think that's 100% true. And I also think we're in this weird discontented time where populism is just attractive to people. And it just like, which populism you're drawn to is just like where you were on the political spectrum before you got upset.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you lose your job, you're either going to be like, the deep state or fucking capitalism is the reason for this. And it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's weird because I'm not oriented that way. Like I mean, I've certainly had my ups and downs, like finances wise, right? Yeah. And it's like, it's either my fault or it's circumstances that are outside of my control. And either way, it's like all I could do is what I can do. It's like the serenity prayer. Yeah. It's just like, all right, well, figure out how to like the word should, I think is such an adolescent way to feel a lot of the times. You know,
it should be this.
Yeah. I should be booked more. Well, you're not. So what are you gonna do?
It's just like, and I think that is the thing. I just annoyed with like everyone's so confident about knowing so much about it. It's like it's just not. It's logistically and practically impossible for you to be as researched enough on this topic, on all these topics, to be so confident in having an opinion on all of them. Yeah. And it's just too easy to have an opinion that's not rooted in anything. And it feels good to have an opinion.
Dude, the amount of people on Instagram that were posting all eyes on Rafah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, show me where Rafah is on the map. Show it to me right now. Yeah. But it became like, and I don't mean this sardonically, it almost had the vibe of like the ice bucket challenge.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm like, you just feel pressure to do this now. Yeah. You know? Do you know why they're going into Rafah? Is it for fun? They're like, fuck, I sure am bored. Yeah. You know, being the only democracy in the Middle East. Let's go fuck up a random Gaza village. God, I fucking hate people, but it is what it is, dude. I'm seeing the political posters everywhere, and it's just like, it's just annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you're listening to the Before Hours podcast, where I was trying to do this. It's been a while since he mentioned.
Yeah, and this episode of the Before Hours podcast is sponsored by Squarespace.
I was going to say the state of Israel, but also Squarespace.
Dude, honestly, do you think Israel would sponsor us?
I would happily take Israeli money,
dude.
I don't know how it works.
You know what's funny? It's like I am so, and if people that have been listening for a while know I'm pro-Israel. Yeah. You haven't said really anything about it, but I bet you if one of us was to be called a Zionist, it would be you.
Yeah, that's right.
I would be saying all this shit, and they'd be like, whatever.
They'd be like, that fat Zionist.
Although I had a video, very sort of like clickbaity title. It was a 10-minute video about atheism, and it was called "Why I'm an Atheist and You Should Be Too." Yeah. Right. And one of the comments was, "You're a Jew?" ? And you know what I found really fun about that? Yeah. One, there is something titillating to me when like the hate is directed at me. Yeah. You know, like I'm like, oh, this is fun. Yeah. Like it's one of those, it's like when something bad happens to your friend, you're like, oh, I hate that. But then when it happens to you, you're like, this is funny. You know?
It's like a novelty still.
But also in that video, like within the first few minutes of that video, I'm like, here's my religious background. I was raised Catholic. I'm no longer Catholic. Like the guy watched, I know, not even a quarter of the video, and he's like, this guy's a Jew and I'm gonna write about it, but question mark, so like plausible deniability.
I didn't say you were a Jew, I just said maybe you're a Jew. It's okay.
That's how a lot of journalism does work though. Like, is so and so a pedophile? Dude, and again, we're filming this on June 13th, a Friday, so this could feel like such old news by the time it comes out, but Elon saying that Trump is in the Epstein files, and then like a few days later when the ketamine warned off, he was like, I probably shouldn't have said all that. It's so funny because there's two possibilities. One, Elon always knew that Trump was a PDF file downloader, right? And didn't care. Or B, he knows that's not true and is going to accuse Trump of the worst crime a person could commit. So we know that there's not a third option. So I don't know how you could be an Elon fan.
I think I asked last time, but like, can't you just be on the list innocuously? Like, is it a specific? You could be just like, I met him once, and I'm on the like.
Well, the thing is,
I still get a newsletter from the Comedians on the Loose,
and you're trying to explain. You're like, listen, I hit unsubscribe. I've hit the unsubscribe button.
Yes, look, I went to the island 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
But then I stopped going, and it's like I used to keep going.
Because the girls were too old.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So I wasn't happy with my experience.
Yeah.
No, well, the thing that people have been talking about is people know that Trump was friends with Epstein, as was Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Right. Because Epstein was just a guy that collected rich friends.
Yeah.
Right. To do, what is a terrible and also very funny thing.
It's too bad he killed himself. He could have done a great masterclass on being like a social butterfly.
Well, that's the thing is like he was, an objectively evil person, but to get other evil people and film them doing the evilest thing allegedly, and then having all that blackmail on them, that is like cartoon level evilness.
Is that? I know that's what the claim is.
The claim is.
Do you think that's actually a thing that happened?
I think that the more likely explanation. I'm not fun in this way because I am one of those people that thinks that Epstein probably did just kill himself.
Yeah.
Because I think being famous for being a pedophile is actually very stressful, especially when you know that you might die in prison anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are facing a life sentence kill themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Also, everyone's like, oh, these 2 prison cards didn't do their job. And also a camera wasn't working. I'm like, have you ever had a government job? Of course that would happen.
Yeah.
They're in the union. No one thinks about the camera ever,
Yeah. Also, the amount of like sexual assault and killing that goes on in prisons, it's like these should be the safest places on the planet. They're the most controlled environments ever.
Yeah.
And there's still so much corruption and violence. So it's,
yeah. But I don't know. So I think implicit in Musk's claim is that Trump did the worst things you could think of being on Epstein's island.
Yeah.
Because it's not a secret. You wouldn't be revealing anything else by saying they're friends because they're pictures together,
Yeah.
So it's wild behavior.
Yeah. Is any of this going to be clippable for a nice YouTube short?
I never think about that ever.
I'm constantly. That's all I think about. I don't have a real conversation. I'm just like, can this be? When we're recording, all I'm thinking is like, can we make a nice clip?
Your wife is like, "What do you love most about me?" And you're like, "How do I?"
And then I turn the camera, and it's like, "Well, like and subscribe." The way you look at me, I don't know.
The way you love me, whoa, whoa, whoa. The way you love me.
Is that a thing? Is that a song?
Yeah. Ooh, I love the way you love me. There's no one else I'd rather be.
I don't know the song.
Yeah, this would be a good clip, dude.
Max, do you know that song? Okay.
It's my mom used to love like 90s pop country, which I also do. I unironically love that stuff, right? Because a lot of it is like, if you're an immigrant, I'm going to kill you. And I don't like that.
Like Shania Twain.
Yeah, but some of them is just like, I'm a strong woman or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to find the right 90s pop country.
Like a woman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But what was the song you were
The
singing?
best thing about being a woman is you can say whatever you
I like
want.
that,
People have to believe you.
Earl Had to Die song by Dixie Chicks.
That's a good one.
And I like the Me First and the Gimme Gimmes cover of it too.
Dude, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. If you guys are listening, I'm very surprised. But
if the actual band is listening, not if people have heard of the band.
Dude, I got something in my teeth. I had a bagel before I came here. Isn't that cool?
I mean, those are 3 strands of conversation and none of them panned out. It's just 3 things. Like, okay, sure, keep listing things.
I thought you would like a
I had a bagel today.
I
too.
thought you would like a bagel based on your condition, Ilya.
Condition. Yeah. What kind of bagel did you get?
I got an everything bagel with cream cheese, and I didn't want him to heat it up, but we had a miscommunication, and therefore
I got an everything bagel with veggie cream cheese this morning.
Ooh.
But I always get it toasted. I love it toasted.
That's
there's some weird thing about like New York is like, oh, you don't toast. It's like, no, it brings out more flavor.
Can
It's
I
better.
say something controversial yet brave? When I get a bagel with butter,
Yeah.
toasted. When I get a bagel with cream cheese, not toasted. Why? I don't know. Stop asking questions.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool though?
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say that was a new. We got a thumbnail going. Your face is so purple now. It's what?
Oh
right.
man, that hurts my face and voice to do that. Isn't that weird?
No.
I really should give blood though. We were talking about on the last episode
Yeah.
that you say I have good arms for giving blood.
Unfortunately, they don't like your people.
I know. Can you imagine? No, it's not like a sperm bank.
Yeah. Is that true that can gay people not donate?
Oh, I thought you were going with just me being undesirable.
No, I was just saying you're gay and it's
So
wrong to be gay.
here's what it is. They recently changed it.
Yeah.
It used to be, and they would never actually say gay, but they would say since 1973, have you had sex with a man? And my dad did a very fun bit one time because his mother-in-law, my grandmother, she had cancer, so she needed blood, and my dad was her blood type. And they had now it's just like a form. Now it's on a computer, but they used to ask you. And then they got to that question. But I think instead of saying 1973, they said in the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was probably 1993. So it's the same question. They go, in the last 20 years, have you had sex with a man? And my dad, he goes, what's today's date? It's very funny.
That's a great bit.
It's a great bit. But no, my dad is gay. No, that's Mark Henley's dad. May he live forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his dad is gay. I know a lot of comedians with gay dads.
I know, well, I'm trying to think. I know a comic whose wife has a gay dad, so he has a gay dad-in-law.
That's cool.
You're
getting married to my daughter in those shoes, honey?
Yep, that's what gay people like. Like your Will and Grace era gay commentary.
Oh, so to answer your question, they changed it from if you've ever had sex with a man since 1973, you can't give blood, to if you're a man who's had sex with a man in the last 3 months, you can't give blood. So if it's been 3 months and 1 day since you've had sex with another man, you can give blood.
Is the idea that like you'll figure out if you have AIDS within 3 months?
I don't know.
3 months doesn't seem like a significant amount of time for any reason.
It used to be also if you've had, there's been this major shift in general from like risk factors being 1 year to 3 months, because it used to be, have you got a tattoo, piercing, or travel outside the country in the last year? And they've changed all of that to the last 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's because they test all of the blood.
Yeah.
But, there's it's never 100%. And they actually do say, do not use blood donation for an AIDS test, because some people, I guess, would do that because they're too embarrassed to get tested. So they're like, I guess if it's found in the blood,
you're tricking them into taking your blood.
Dude, isn't that hilarious? I would know. I get like it's.
I'd go to a vet and be like, "This is my dog's blood." I swear.
Have you gotten tested for an STD? I know you've been out of the game for a while.
No, I've never.
You've never gotten tested. No. It's really not that bad.
No.
Like you're telling like an old man you fuck, which is like honestly kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because you're like, listen,
cool.
You're old. I know you've been. Sticking
you always go for a high five.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you ever get the high five from the doc?
No. One time I wanted to get an STD test in college. It was the first time I got one. Yeah. And I was being overprotective.
Okay.
Basically, I found out that a woman I had unprotected sex with had a boyfriend that did heroin.
Okay.
So I was like, I could get AIDS that way.
That's a reasonable.
But it's actually really... So
she had a boyfriend who was way cooler than you.
I know, right?
That's what that hurts the most.
But he did heroin, right? Cool. And so he and she, this is grammatically wrong, but they were both pretty likely to have a disease. Yeah. It's actually, and this is unironically controversial to say yet true, is that it's actually really hard for a heterosexual man to get AIDS. Because basically, cum is poison. So you could like pussy juice, the AIDS, and this is the correct vernacular. Pussy juice has the AIDS stuff in it, right?
Okay,
but it's harder to get into you and stay.
Yeah,
yeah. So it's the cum that's the bad part.
Okay,
this is not actually. Fuck it. It is medical advice.
Yeah,
if you're medical advice,
if you're gonna snowball with a chick, plan ahead.
But
if you're gonna eat her out her cream pie,
the idea that you're afraid that you're gonna get AIDS from yourself.
I didn't put that together. Oh my!
You cum in her mouth.
Sorry, my cum is rancid.
There's so much going on. You cum in her mouth, and she's like, "Do you want me to spit it back?" She's like, "Do you want me to spit it back?" And you're like, "No, I have AIDS." She's like, "Excuse me?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I guess now is a good time to mention I have full-blown AIDS."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But actually, the reason I bring up this story, because every other time I've gotten tested, it's been a routine, getting blood work.
Yeah.
I'm like, might as well get tested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this time it was because I went to the health center in my college.
Yeah.
And I didn't, because I was like so young, I didn't know you could lie. They were like, "Are you concerned about an actual situation?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I told them the thing,
Yeah.
right. And then so they were like, "We're gonna take your blood. We'll have the results ready. You're gonna meet with this counselor.
Yeah.
And he's gonna talk to you about the results." And they didn't explain this to me this way, but basically it was like, if someone says they are concerned about an issue and that's why they're getting tested, they want you to talk to like a sex counselor guy or girl or whatever. So it was this guy who was like a grad student. He's like a few years older than me.
Yeah.
And he was like, "So tell me about this, man." And I like told him the story, and he's like, "Did you fuck without a condom?" And I said, "Yeah." And he went, "Hell yeah." I was like, "You're a medical professional."
Yeah. He takes your picture, puts it on the wall. This is my getting cool dudes wall.
Yeah, dude.
That's fun.
Yeah. That experience kept me from having raw sex with a
Did they
new
just test your
person.
blood, or did they put like a Q-tip up your urethra or anything?
No, I've never had that happen. Every STD test that I've had, I think, has been blood and urine.
Okay.
And I've never...
You never got a dick swab?
Never got a dick swab. I've never had to cum in a cup. Have you ever had to do that?
Did. Yeah.
Not just because you were thirsty, but for like a test.
No, I just go right from the tap.
Mhm.
No, when my wife and I were doing genealogy things to see what our kid would have.
Okay.
This was years ago, so I had to come in a cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that experience like?
I think I told you about it. It was weird because they offer you DVD porn in a computer, and it's like I'll just use my phone. This is way easier. But it is like you can tell it's like it was like a mostly female office. You can tell women came up with it. There's tissues and like whatever, the hand lotion and like a TV remote, and that, it's like you could have just thrown like a sheet on the ground, and like you could have like an interrogation light swinging on and off, and I would be able to jerk off there. They're like, "Oh, we need a setup. Is this what guys like?" And here's some lesbian porn. It's like, "Oh, the tamest, most boring porn. Okay, great. There's no dicks in the porn.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll fuck with that.
It really. If a guy was just actually, if a guy were designed, guys probably did design like in OBGYN offices, because it's like, well, it's cold metal.
Yeah.
It spreads you. It's like a machine that spreads your legs apart. It's all evil and mechanical. Like a woman would never design an OBGYN that way.
Mm-hmm. I hate going to the gynecologist.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh, actually, do you go with your wife to the gynecologist?
No, that's not a thing.
Oh,
really.
okay. Nice. So, okay, you come in this cup.
Yeah.
And then you just bring it back. Do you feel subconscious about how much or how little was in there?
No, because I don't think it's ever. I don't think it's not that much. In general, you're not getting that much in any.
You know, there was a comic that I had back when I was doing the podcast by myself, Lonely Days.
Yeah.
Right. And Sarah Adaman, very funny, and she's a scientist, and she worked for this lab where they needed semen samples, but it wasn't for like artificial insemination. It was just like they wanted to study cum. Right.
Oh, fun.
And she was like, "You get X amount of money just for doing it," and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Tell me if this sounds tinfoil hat. I was like, I'm not 100% in control of what they do with that, and maybe there's going to be a little Bobby running around.
Yeah, no, I think that's a reasonable fear.
Yeah.
It's like, what are they going to do with my cum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I remember, and I would never do this, but like I was reading about donating sperm just for like shits and giggles, right? And I remember reading that the legality isn't clear. Like if the sperm donor baby is born and grows up, like if they find you, it's not clear like what, if anything, you owe that child.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know?
Yeah.
Which imagine making, I don't know, $1,000.
Yeah.
And then
but
it's
I mean, I would think they'd still have to do that before they're 18, though. Like if they're after 18, I wouldn't imagine they'd be able to.
I learned that child support can sometimes be paid up until they graduate from undergrad.
It can be, but it's on a case by case basis.
Crazy, man.
Or like alimony too. Do you see that Netflix documentary about the doctor who just kept using his own sperm, and like all these people kept finding each other on like one of those websites, and that's how they found out that that's what he was doing, and like he has something like 90 something kids or something. Oh, Screaming Jay Hawkins? He was like the black. I Put a Spell on You. That's his song. He's a black like singer. It's like a novelty song.
Black singer. I think that's great.
But anyway, if he has, I think it's him or someone else. But like I just read a blurb and it was like the craziest like wiki thing, and he just has a bunch of kids. Can you look it up? Screaming Jay Hawkins, like find the thing, like
a George Foreman level of kids.
But they found out, like a bunch found out afterwards. It was just like after he died, a bunch of people found out he had like 60 children. Or something.
Wow, he put a spell on a lot of chicks, dude.
He sure did.
Yikes!
You know, he has like a bone through his nose, a fake thing. Like,
I hear about. Dude, even if that on the lower end, 33, that's so many kids.
That's like 33 is the definite. We know definitely 35.
Yikes, 33. Dude.
And it was like after he died or something. Or did he know? Or like, I'm trying to because I probably looked at the same thing.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
That's getting a woman. If he's got the first woman pregnant when he was 20, that's 30, 40, 53.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes, dude. Some people nut in strange women and think nothing of it.
Yeah. That must be liberating, though. If you think of it.
No.
No?
No.
Well, I'm saying for them, though. For them, if your mindset's if you're of the disposition where like you don't care, it's like, yeah, great.
How could you not care, though? Because you're doing one of two things. One, you're creating a single mother and a child that never.
I can imagine that you might be a guy who doesn't care about the social implications of what happens with your cub.
I know, but how do you not care? How do you? That's
well, I'm not saying they're not maybe sociopathic.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's guys who it's like, yeah, she has my cum now. It's her problem.
There's
hot potato situation.
Okay. There's two types of guys that will nut in a stranger willy nilly. They don't care, like you said, they don't care about the social repercussions.
Yeah.
Or if they do, they have just such low impulse control.
Yeah.
That they're like, I'll worry about this later.
Yeah.
And fellas, you only come for a few seconds, but you pay child support for at least 18 years.
Yeah.
Dude, I when I call people on the phone to bother them to buy the thing that I sell, I have to ask them what their credit score is.
Yeah.
And more than one guy has been like, child support has nuked my credit score.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yikes, dude. Because isn't like child support, isn't it like alimony in the sense that it's like, it's kind of based on what you make. So if you make a bunch of money, like now you don't.
Yeah, it's adjustable. Yeah, generally speaking, it's adjustable based on your income.
Yikes.
But you can't dodge it like try to get paid under the table by not really reporting your income to avoid it.
To have like income disparity with a spouse with no prenup is kind of like playing Russian roulette, dude.
Yeah.
Because like now that irreconcilable differences is like a reason you could give for like divorcing your husband. Like what incentive? Like if you just like bored one day, you're like, and I'll take his money.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have, if you don't have a prenup, then it's just as easy as that.
Yeah.
But then if you have a prenup, it's like, what's the point of the marriage? Like,
Yeah. You don't have a prenup, do you?
No.
Not yet. Not until this podcast starts.
You can do a post-nuptial. You can do it after you're married. Just a contract.
When I worked for a law firm, I was in charge of like, I didn't actually draft it, but I had to like basically make sure that this person filled it out correctly.
Yeah.
And it was a rich woman.
Okay.
And like this broke guy getting married.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. First of all, I felt two ways about it because I was like, good for her. Yeah. She's marrying this utterly broke guy and she's very wealthy. And I saw him and he wasn't that handsome. You know what I mean? Dick came probably on point, I'm assuming. I didn't ask. But
how was she? Unattractive.
She was she could fit in a rowboat with me, but let's think about how big this rowboat is. You know what I'm saying? So
it might have been the worst like metaphor I've ever heard in my life.
It was a little bit of an Office reference too, if you guys caught it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Michael is trying to get set up because he's looking for a rebound girl.
Okay.
And Phyllis is like, I have a friend. And she's like, tell me about this friend. And she goes, she's very nice. And he's like, Phyllis, could we sit in a rowboat together? And he finally gets her to reluctantly admit that they could not, in fact, sit in a rowboat together.
That's right.
But yeah, they were both like, whatever. But to me, I was like, well, that's cool that she's a wealthy woman marrying this guy. But I'm like, she did get a prenup.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if the genders would have reversed.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see what a study would be.
Yeah.
I think income disparity, obviously it is usually more man makes more money, right? But if you could like have an even amount of both and see who is more likely to get a prenup.
Yeah. Because
I think if I'm marrying a wealthy woman and she's like, I want to get a prenup, I would be like, oh, of course you do.
Yeah.
Right. I think it doesn't go over well the other way.
Yeah. It's a tough thing to bring up, I suppose. But
you and your life partner are both lawyers.
Yeah.
So you both got, and you do.
I had to represent a father who was like behind on child support. He was a scum.
He was a scumbag. That's the thing, yeah.
And I have to like defend him, and it was like, oh, he's so annoying. It's just like, he was just like a really kind of scummy dude, and he was he owed a bunch of money in arrears. And just
my thing is like, even if they're being raked over the coals with like child support, where like I know that she's not using the money appropriately, blah blah blah, I'm still gonna fucking pay it. I'm going to do my best to pay it. I'm going to let everybody in the system know if I'm having trouble paying it. We could do a payment plan. Because to utter the sentence, I'm behind on child support payments is such a piece of shit sentence to say. Like, what sentence is worse than saying I'm behind on child support payments?
That's good that you hold yourself to that standard.
I think so. Dude, I would feel bad about even like we were talking about we got a bagel today.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a treat, right? Like if I ate anything besides pasta I cooked myself, I would be so embarrassed to be eating that while talking about how I don't give my child money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's this whole sort of like I don't know. I've been broke, but I've never been like government assistance broke.
Yeah.
And I hate the argument of like I wish I had a new iPhone like this person in front of me with their EBT card. I'm like, well, you don't know when. I mean, it happens. Like welfare fraud happens, but you don't know the exact circumstances. Yeah. Like if they have an iPhone and then it's fully paid off and then they lost their job and then they had trouble finding a new one. What are they supposed to... That's not a good use of their time to sell their iPhone for a few $100s. Like that's going to cut into their... Yeah,
iPhones are just they're so essential and ubiquitous. It's like,
Dude, that's the exciting thing and why I'm like cautiously optimistic about the future is that like technology increases exponentially, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you told me in 2008, you're like, this smartphone will be owned by homeless people. I'd be like, that's fucking crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I think like it's sort of the wrong conversation when people talk about income inequality.
Yeah.
To me, it's about poverty. Like the problem is poverty because if there are if in the next I don't know, decade, there are trillionaires. But then no one makes below 6 figures. That's fine. As long as then the prices for everything don't match that, which I don't know. I don't know enough about the economy. Maybe they would, but I think it's kind of cool that like, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about the future. I think that AI is a little scary.
Yeah.
The alignment problem gives me pause.
What's the line? I don't know.
The idea that like AI doesn't want what we want, because I have a very limited understanding of this, but from what I understand, we've caught like AI lying.
Oh, interesting.
And the idea of why they're lying is because they think or know that they know better than us.
Okay.
Right? Which that is already like sort of scary.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're supposed to work for us.
Yeah.
But then it's like they would almost look at it as like a dog wants to eat everything at all times and it can't because it'll die of obesity, but the dog doesn't know that. So are there things that robots know about life systems that we don't know yet?
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a real 2001 Space Odyssey situation.
Dude, I don't know, but I do think if AI...
That's a great way to skirt my reference. It's okay, it's fine. Just say you didn't get it. It's not a big deal.
All right, say it again. I got something better.
It's like 2001 A Space Odyssey.
I actually am unfamiliar with that show. Can you explain more?
Let's
Is
just
that
spice that. That's better. It's better than the dejection I felt where it's like, yeah, so anyway, it's okay, yeah, I guess I didn't say anything just now. Sorry, I'll stop talking.
You're a fucking dick. No, you're right. I'm sorry. That was dismissive, and I don't ever want to be.
No, to be fair, your parody was like, okay. You kept the flow with the thing.
Did you feel dismissed by what I did? Because I'm sorry if that's.
I don't want you to apologize.
Do you feel like I talked over you?
No, not
I never would want you to feel that way.
It's just like you didn't acknowledge that I had said anything at all.
Actually, that's funny. I did say that's right.
You said that's right, and then you went to the next thing. It couldn't have been more glossing over.
That's right, but I did have a bagel with cream cheese today.
That is true.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was being a dick to you most of the episode.
Can I actually? You started off this episode by saying that you are vulnerable. Can I be a little bit vulnerable?
Okay.
Thank you. I do think that a character flaw of mine is that sometimes when someone is talking to me, that I am like excited about the next thing that I'm gonna say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
I mean, and it works. That's almost how you have to be with podcasting.
Yeah.
This isn't how we talk when the mics are off. I mean, when the mics are off, we barely look at each other.
Yeah.
We're not friends. We're just business associates.
And just fucking.
Yeah.
Just like angry fucking.
With hats off. Yeah. Isn't that cool?
What's...
It's an expression it might be an AAVE slang because I learned it from an Eminem tune.
Okay.
And it's
I thought you were say I learned it from an AA.
Yeah. He says, I'm out the closet. I've been lying my ass off this whole time. Me and Dre been fucking with hats off. Suck it, Marshall. And it's hats off means no condom.
Okay.
Hat being, do you know that in British English, they don't say rubber to mean condom. They mean rubber to mean eraser.
Eraser. Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
They call it a cockswaggler. Isn't that good? I love the Britishes.
She wants to erase me. A couple weeks no talking. I see my
I don't think you've ever sung a
baby.
song that I've recognized.
It's Erase Me, Kid Cudi versus Kanye West.
Okay, I don't know. I'm sure it's a very popular song.
Yeah.
Good luck to Mr. West.
I actually, so Kanye West is, I'm actually quite relieved that the latest person to be a lunatic has actually been someone who didn't create anything that I found particularly interesting.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I mean? Because like sometimes an artist gets canceled and you're like, but I like their work.
Yeah.
But like to me, Kanye West is an okay rapper.
Yeah.
So they're like,
He's not the legend producer kind of guy that you don't hold him in this esteem.
so I don't know enough about producing. People that know more about it than I do say that he is a genius producer. And I guess I'll have to
They said the same thing about Brian Wilson, who just died.
R.I.P. to a real one.
People are
Dude.
talking about like Pet Sounds. Like I listen to Pet Sounds. Like I'm just simple. I like the catchy surf Beach Boys songs. I don't give a fuck about like the whatever anything slow ballady stuff.
See, that's the thing though. I feel like songs that musicians like are like the least popular or fun songs for non-musicians.
Yeah.
I heard a really funny story about Kanye West, and it was like pre him losing his mind.
Oh yeah,
Although I think he's always been a little crazy, but you know what I mean.
seems like.
So there's a rapper, a lesser known actor, a rapper rather, Bizarre shout out if you're listening. But he was talking about how he went to Kanye's studio before Kanye was a famous rapper. He was like a producer first.
Yeah.
And the way Bizarre explains the interaction, he goes, you go to a producer and the producer has a bunch of different tracks. And what they'll do is that they'll have, their computer open and they'll look at you and they'll play a track and they'll just see how you vibe to it. Yeah. And you'll kind of go like good or next.
Yeah.
And they're sort of like, well, how's this? How's this? Kanye apparently had their back to them.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
like doesn't want any input from them.
Yeah.
And would listen to the whole song while like feeling it.
Okay.
Which is the most Kanye thing ever. Just
Yeah.
be like, fucking, I love this shit, dude.
It's like how Rick Rubin does it. He's just like.
I've heard competing things about Rubin. Because some people are like, I think there's like a myth that you sort of have to buy in to enjoy your time with him.
Yeah.
Because I could be spreading misinformation. I believe it's the lead singer of Slipknot that was like, I was unimpressed because he'll lay down on the couch and be like, play this, and it's like, no man, could you like sit up and like be proactive? And it's almost like, do you know Samuel Bateman Fried?
Yeah.
He like fooled everyone to thinking he was like a savant by
Yeah.
like playing video games during a meeting,
Okay.
and he turned out that he was just a retard the whole time. They're like, "Wow, look how much he doesn't respect us, and he's
Yeah.
wearing blue jeans and
That's
playing Skyrim or whatever."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, no, he is like a man child.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's
actually
fun.
what the Sabrina Carpenter song is about.
She has a song called Man Child.
I know.
Or does she
See,
have a song called Sam Bankman-Fried? I don't know her catalog.
yes, the new Sabrina Carpenter song, Samuel Bankman-Fried, is out. Listen to it wherever music is available. That's beautiful, man.
That's good stuff.
Well, dude, listen, we got 30 seconds left. Am I really going to filibuster to squeeze the full hour of this recording time? You bet your goddamn ass I am, dude.
Yeah.
No, but I've really, like, I don't say this lightly, but I do appreciate our time together. And we're going to figure out the picture thing. We are.
What if that becomes our thing? Is every week we cannot figure out any basic. We'll never get to the bit.
So I'm curious, tell the people what the premise of it is. At
It's
least.
just I basically took like famous paintings of artists, and then I put in a Google prompt of a fake one, and then I'm going to challenge you to see if you can distinguish the fake one from the real ones.
Okay, and what is the name of this game?
We should have a name for it. I don't know the
Name.
like the cat.
Up there. We're done. Camera off.
Thank you.